Now, dumbass, even though, say, I forgot somebody's name, right? Like the girl at the convenience store or the girl at Shay's party, right? I still remember if I had a sexual encounter with them or not. Yes, yes. If we went all the way or not, right? I'm not hallucinating. I'm having sex with people I'm not having sex with either. And if I'm blacking out during an exchange with one of the masseuses or one of the strippers, right? I don't even know why I know. But I do remember most of the lap dance, right? Though the problem is when I come out, it's longer than it should have been, right? Because all I usually do is get a little Coke or water, right? Because I'm the one driving myself to the strip club, right? I also got to drive myself home so I don't get drunk even. I drive responsibly, asshole. I'm not a drinker. I'm not a smoker. Do you understand? That's why your cigarette butt is proof someone was in my house. Oh, no, it is. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do none of this shit you do. Never had a desire for it. Even if I do drink something, it's a fruity drink. Right. And that's one. Once in a while. I'm not even obsessed with that, though, right? You can ask my mom, though. I never drunk. I never smoked. I never did marijuana or anything. And the only drugs I'm on, I'm legally able to take without doing it to an obsessive level either. So every little argument, whatever you're thinking of, don't apply to me. And my memory, I know it don't. And there's only one way to really black me out, either hit me over the head with like a bat or something like that, right? Or shoot me, right? But anyway, which you're not supposed to do. Either one. Now, one of my girlfriends, like I told you, named Maribel, called me. I don't know. Told me this wild story about meeting this dude in December, having the baby in May, and the baby weighed more than it should if it was his. She said when the baby was born, he was 4 pounds, 9 ounces, that he was born in Virginia Beach, Virginia, in the hospital there. On May 31st, weighing in at 4 pounds, 9 ounces, right? And we still follow in America for babies the pound and ounce system, right? Which is different from the metric system, right? Dude. Now, 4 pounds, 9 ounces means technically he's an 8-month-year-old child, right? If you know what I mean, right? He was conceived 8 months, not 5.5 like he would be with Scott. Depending on what week they met in Virginia anyway. I know. And I don't know none of the real details there, but only Maribel told me some of what happened when we talked about it anyway. And what she told me was she met Scott sometime around the middle of December. Didn't really give me a date or anything, right? But it don't matter if the baby came in May and weighed 4 pounds, 9 ounces. No, I don't. No, at all. Though the last person she was with, she said, was me in September 3 months ago. If she met him in December, right? Now, here's how a divorce works, though, with a lieutenant in the army, I guess. First thing, okay, is you gotta determine that he's not the father of the child through a DNA test. Scott, only you and her can do that test. It don't even involve me, because I'm not the one divorcing you. She would be. Oh, no. Another thing is simply this, right? If you got that test, only you and her would know the results, not me at all, right? Because she did not call to tell me anything more about it after this is all she told me about it, and I never heard from her again. And I can't do nothing about it because legally, guess who the birth certificate says is the father of the child? Scott, right? Unless she's petitioning the court for a DNA test to prove it's not Scott's child. But only the courts in, say, New York, Philadelphia, if that's where they divorced, right? Because like in Virginia, you have to be legally separated so long, you got to petition the courts for the DNA test, right? Like in Judge Mathis or, again, Maury, right? And then you know, okay, in Philadelphia and New York, if the child is his or someone else's, right? Once it's determined who's he is or is not the father, right? If he's not the father, she can legally divorce him in the 6 months. Unless he contests the divorce or something, right? And won't sign, right? Right? That's all I know about divorce too, right? Now in Virginia, because Jonathan was involved, I had to be legally separated from my ex-wife for a year, right? And was when I started dating Maribel anyway, I know. We were separated for at least 6 months before I met Maribel. Mm-hmm. And I continued a relationship with her till September of 96. Which, if me and her had sex the last time, 3 months before she met Scott, and the baby is 4 pounds 9 ounces, it don't trace back to December at all, and it don't matter, okay? Anything else you say after that. Because the baby can only be 1.5 to 1 3/4 pounds from the middle of December to May. Period. Now again, how did this occur between him and Maribel? Well, she said she went drinking out a club. Her and him hooked up. She didn't take her birth control pills for the next day or two. And took a test, I guess, in December and found out she was pregnant. But because, okay, she did not think it was mine, but his, they got married and everything, like it was his. Oh, no. Now, I'm not saying, okay, I know everything here. I don't know. But I am saying, okay, they both thought he got her pregnant in December. The problem is in May when the child was born, he's over 4 pounds, right? That's physically impossible for any child 6 months later. No child can be that big. It's impossible. Physically, psychologically, and mentally, you can't do that. I know. There's no way to get around what every baby book says for a growing child. Now, if, again, you have a full-term child, a child can be bigger if, for instance, like my Aunt Janine, right? The woman is bigger. Mm-hmm. But Maribel's a little Filipino girl. Mm-hmm. She's around 5 feet to 5'4", somewhere in there, 5'2", right? Right. And Scott's about, I guess, 6 foot. Are you, Scott? And I'm about 5'8", 5'9" when I met her, right? That was shortly after the fall of that, right? Now, again, right, I don't know what happened to her. I only sent her so much money to help her go through her divorce. and support her a little bit. But I told her to get a DNA test, right? With me or him. And that's all she can do if she's in New York with him. I never heard the result or anything, but all I have is this jackass's word, okay, that it's not my child. That she didn't get pregnant by me. I don't know. I don't know. Now, she was with a guy named Steve with a Polish name. I forgot it. But it ends with a ski or something, right? You know. Right. Not that I'm against him, right? But he was someone around her who she called a fiance, but says she was not having sex with him. And he said it too when I asked. Unless he's calling it making love when she's with two men. Which is his own delusion because she's fucking us both, asshole. So say what you want. Right? If that's the real case, that's part of why I broke up with her. No commitment from my end at all. I tried to get engaged to her too. She gave me my wedding ring back. She promised to move with me in Georgia in March. When I moved back, she didn't. Right. And I gave her to September to make up her mind if she wanted to come and live with me in Georgia. And she didn't, so I broke up with her. That's all I know about it, too. That's all I can tell you about it. No more, no less. Right. I have nothing to lie about. I have nothing to add to or take away from what I experienced with Maribel or any of my exes, right? Any of them.